Hey kids, welcome to episode 4 of the RadCast. I'm your host Mike Jones. Joining me as always,
and Nathan Duber.
Awesome. If there's anything we're talking about today and you're kind of not interested, I've listed all the times of every topic covered in the description below, so just kind of skip ahead. It should all work out kind of thing. But no, we've got some good stuff today. And yeah, let's get right into it. So Nathan, do you want to start us off with the first topic?
Yeah, first thing I found, don't know when this week, but the classic movie, cult classic, the movie It.
Yep, Stephen King.
By Stephen King, the first pretty much terrifying clown movie, might be getting I think is getting a remake that fans will probably deserve. It's rated R1, so they could probably add a lot more gore, scare, anything this crazy clown would do.
I think I haven't seen it. I mean, I've seen bits and pieces kind of thing. I kind of get the general premise is there's Pennywise the clown. Is kind of just terrorizes these kids kind of thing. I guess. I mean, that's the premise of most horror films. I guess is some kind of monster that terrorizes people. But yeah. It didn't really. I mean, I'm sure it was scary at the time, but it doesn't seem particularly scary.
Nothing these days is that scary anymore.
Yeah,
because we're so accustomed to it.
We're so accustomed to like.
I've seen so many scary movies that you just know. You either predict what's going to happen or you know when the jump scare is going to happen.
Basically, yeah, you can predict a jump scare or it's just gore porn. That's basically it. It's just like blood and guts, right? Like to the extreme.
Well, I mean, I love Saw, but the story is so good though. It's so twisty and turvy and
They're making another Saw as well.
Yeah, they are. It's coming out
because everyone was begging for Saw 15.
Trying to come out this year maybe.
Saw 9.
I
feel like there's more Saws than there are. Hang on,
8,
apart from James Bond, that might be one of the longest running movie series.
It's the longest running horror series.
9. I can't think of another movie that has 9 in it. Even Harry Potter has like 8.
Wait, is it Saw? Oh, it's Saw 8, I think. Saw 8, yeah.
So I mean, if they keep this thing going, I mean, apart from Bond, that might be the longest running movie series.
Yeah.
Which is weird as a concept.
Yeah.
But that like a horror film, because they rated?
They all tie in as well.
I assume they're rated R.
Yeah, but I know the 7 was like it was Saw 3D or whatever.
Oh, okay, there you go. But yeah, I mean, like it's cool, I guess, man. If you're into it, I think. Of all the movies, I think it probably does. Of all the horror films, it does need a remake. And there's some. I think Exorcist. I think will forever be classic. I can't see them remaking it.
Yeah, well, you got so many Exorcist movies. You don't really have clown movies. You got the new one that came out called Clown, but that's based off like a legend, myth.
Oh, okay. Like Chupacabra or something.
Yeah, it was like if you this guy wore a clown costume and then it pretty much stuck to him and grew on him, and he turned into this beast thing. Yeah. Yeah,
fair enough. Yeah, so I think that's kind of cool. Like, yeah, I think it has aged pretty badly, to be honest. I mean, like, I think I would be alright with Tim Curry coming back, to be honest, to play Pennywise. I think he's genuinely terrifying looking. Yeah. But I just think it's such a kind of not kid friendly, but it's such kind of like a I don't know what it was rated. I'm sure probably PG-13, something like that.
Oh, back in the day, there was like nudity and just rated M films.
Like, right. Just didn't really care. Kind of basic, yeah. Whereas I think what we can do now with horror and atmosphere and what we know about filming, I think is a lot more potential there. But do you reckon it'll be like because I think it is supposed to be a horror film, but there are elements where it's kind of goofy. It's like it's so over the top that it is kind of funny. Do you think it'll be a bit like Evil Dead, the remake, where it's just like there's no trace of the original? It's Evil Dead in name only. You know, there is no kind of jokey kind of Ash Williams. It's just straight horror. It just happens to have the same title. Yeah. Do you reckon it'll be kind of similar in the vein of it'll have kind of goofy aspect?
That was actually really good. That Evil Dead movie was really good. I enjoyed it. It was really gory, and it was actually like true to the the story, I guess. Well, it was the real story, but like they showed it well with the effects and stuff.
Did it do well?
It wasn't really in cinemas well, here at least. We only got it was only at Northbridge and Leederville here. That's where I saw it. Yeah, that was like my first rated R.
Was it? Wait, where did you see it in Leederville, or did you see it in?
I saw it in Northbridge after TAFE one day. And
really?
Yeah, I just walked there.
Nice. Oh yeah, true. Of course, it was nearby.
It was during the day, never at night.
Never again. But yeah, it's cool. Moving on to Marvel. Yeah, Marvel for a while actually. There's a couple of stories here.
Yay.
So sweet. So Martin Freeman,
top bloke.
Bilbo, Sherlock. I mean, the guy's actually doing pretty well. Whoever his agent is doing a damn fine job.
Yeah, no, he's very well known.
And he's a good actor as well, which also helps. But he this is confirmed, right? Like this isn't just a rumor. Yeah. So his role got revealed for Civil War, the upcoming Captain America movie. So he's Everett Ross, who no one really knows too much about. I mean, I'm sure there's some diehard Black Panther fans out there.
Yeah, like the Doctor Strange thing as well.
yeah, exactly, right. So he's he's playing Everett Ross, who at first, when I first read this, I read it as Thunderbolt Ross, who's the guy with the mustache who becomes Red Hulk in the comics.
Yeah.
You know, like Army Sergeant guy from Incredible. No, what was it called? It was called
Incredible
Hulk. Yeah, the 2008 one. Which Marvel seems to still call canon, which I think is weird.
It's in phase 1.
Yeah, it technically counts. Yeah, it's that kind of like
because there's
middle
enough
child
scene. I haven't actually seen that movie. I need to actually watch it. I've got it. I need to watch it though.
It's a shit ton better than the first Hulk. The first Hulk was really bad, and then
Eric
Banner.
Eric Banner is Bruce Banner.
That's sweet. Which is just like the perfect name.
It was so boring.
I remember even as a kid getting confused. I was like, wait, hang on, which one's the actor? Which one's the character? Yeah. But it's at first Hulk was pretty awful, and then Incredible Hulk wasn't actually too bad. I just think it wasn't as successful as Iron Man. So they kind of didn't really realize, because I think at that time they didn't know what was going to work, what wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was so many people, so many studio heads saying, who the hell even is Iron Man? Why would that be popular? What, you know?
Because he's the only one of the change. He's only they've changed Edward Norton to be Mark Ruffalo. They haven't done that with anyone else. So
no one's been recast.
They finally, if they had found Mark Ruffalo for that one, it probably would have been better. Because of the fact that it all fits in.
It'll fit in better, but as a film, it worked. I think. Don't forget as well. Now we're at a stage where every film in the MCU is 10 steps ahead. 10 steps ahead. There's so many Easter eggs in this, and they know, and they've got this huge. I assume they had this huge map until about 2025 of everything they want to do. Whereas back then, it was just, we'll make it and see if it works. Incredible Hulk kind of worked. Iron Man very much worked. We'll make a sequel, and then realizing the potential of shit, we could do Avengers, we could do all these classic stories, and it's kind of just taken off. But no, it's not. He's not Thunderbolt Ross. He is Everett Ross. Everett Ross, which is really confusing because it's this guy from SourceFed called Ross Everett. And I was like, so when I googled Everett Ross, it just came up as him. It came up with him and Martin Freeman.
Yeah, it's Everett Ross MCU or something.
Exactly right. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. So he's probably going to be. He's kind of morally ambiguous. He's a bit kind of almost like an anti-hero in a weird way. But I think how
he'll be
just be straight bad guy.
Bad guy. He'll be with whatever Black Panther is. I'm pretty sure he's on Iron Man's side.
I reckon he'll be one of them people who, in the comics, he's very much like, he's a guy who just, he's not particularly bad, but he's not particularly good. He kind of just does his thing his way.
Yeah.
But in film, that doesn't really translate as well because you haven't got comics to span his ideas. You've got like very quick introduction. So I think they're going to go straight evil or straight good. It's easier to kind of figure out that way.
And he's an expert on Wakanda, so you'll see him in the Black Panther movie.
Black Panther film, he'll show up a lot more.
Because we think the Black Panther villain is going to be Ulysses Claw.
Pretty
sure it is.
They cut off his hand
because of the Avengers.
Yeah, so I think that would be kind of cool. It's not. It's not the most incredible news ever, right? Like I think if they, it's considering they've only shown him in a suit, and the thing is like Everett Ross doesn't have a suit, is in like a costume. Yeah. It's basically literally just like suit and tie, right? It's cool. I mean, he's probably going to show more.
It's just because Martin Freeman, like, he's a big actor. You wouldn't just put him in as a little cameo.
Yeah, exactly.
He's something.
Yeah. He's something, and also that continues his streak of working with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yes.
They worked in Hobbit together. They worked in Sherlock together. They're now working in the MCU together.
They're like Kevin Hart and Ice Cube.
Basically, friends. They're he is the Robin to Benedict's Batman, or vice versa, I guess, if you want to think of it that way.
The Betty Bat.
And then actually speaking of Civil War, Empire Magazine brought out some pictures, 3 pictures, I believe.
Yeah, Empire Magazine's so good.
Empire's great. I actually really do. I dig Empire. As far as print media goes, it's probably one of the better ones. I mean, like as they kind of die out, I still like Empire.
From what people still get print media.
Yeah, people can still buy print media. So Crossbones got a kind of close-up shot.
Yeah, we got a frontal.
And Scarlett Witch as well. So Nathan, what did you take away from these?
Well, because in the trailers you didn't see, or in the latest trailer you just saw Crossbones in the very background. You had to pause it to see.
Yeah.
And it was very dusty and everything. Like this looks like it's in the African place, like in the where I guess they would probably meet Black Panther, because we know it's held in like Africa and Germany. And America because of the UN thing.
Yeah.
So
I mean, technically the UN thing might not be America. They could just have had a.
They have that anyway.
Yeah. So I think they will do it. I think a film called Captain America, I think to not have America in there at some point in some scope, I think would be a bit weird. But no, Crossbones look awesome. I think there was kind of a bit of a complaint with Crossbones as far as like he looks a bit DIY. Like he looks like a really good like almost like Netflix or that kind of vibe. I think the fact that it does look a bit DIY is kind of part of the charm, really.
Well, it's not. He's not like a.
He's not a multi-millionaire.
He's not supposed to be like an Iron Man.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I think the part of the charm is the fact that it is a bit DIY looking.
Yeah, you can. I know, because you could even say that Captain America's suit could be like Spider-Man's suit and it could be DIY. It is DIY.
Yeah.
Like he actually made it. Deadpool, he actually made it. Like, Well, everyone makes their own suit, but like Iron Man.
Cap doesn't make his own suit. Cap
he doesn't. No, he doesn't. But I mean, it's all made.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. And then Scarlett Witch. Scarlett Witch I think is a better photo as far as there's a lot more going on. It's more interest.
Powers.
Powers look cool. Powers always look cool. I think.
She's got like some kind of corset looking thing on.
She's got like a corset trench coat looking thing. I dig it. I think it's really cool. I think it's kind of almost reminiscent of a female Star-Lord. I think it's kind of cool.
It's like it's not. What do you call that kind of?
Like coat. A trench coat?
Trench coat, yeah.
I guess.
It's like a female trench coat.
Yeah, it's like a female trench coat. I think it's cool. I still think Marvel have this weird thing about helmets. They just hate helmets.
She does have a
Thor never wears his.
No, he doesn't.
Iron Man bloody barely wears his. Now he's always got his visor up.
Yeah.
I think it's something to do with the fact there's this complaint about how in film you can't emote without eyes.
Yeah.
Eyes, I think that's a big problem. But I mean, I think Deadpool proves you can. And I also think Dredd proves you can. Remember Dredd from a few years ago?
Yeah.
Carl Urban never took that helmet off, and I think he did more emotion with just his mouth, because that's all he had, and his voice. But I think it'd be kind of cool to throw the helmet in, but I can see why. I mean...
Well, for villains, they will put a helmet on, like Crossbones. And
I
mean, Black Panther, he's got his cowl
mask,
on, so, like, he'll just be speaking. So, Spider-Man.
I think he doesn't have... Yeah, same Spider-Man, that's very true. Ant-Man as well never really takes his helmet off. No. When he's fighting, he doesn't, obviously, because he would just...
Yeah.
He can wear... Wait, can he... He can't shrink without the helmet, I don't think. I think it's like a full thing,
yeah. Imagine his body.
His head, his head stays the same, Head stays the same, body shrinks, but no, I think the Scarlet Witch thing sort of looks a lot cooler. I think the fact that... I think the problem with the first film is I think they didn't want... Especially because, obviously, she wasn't technically like a hero. She was just like an kind of a normal person. She had a bit of a kind of Hot Topic vibe. In the first film, it looked a bit kind of...
Yeah. Well, Quicksilver kind of did as well with his hair.
Yeah, Quicksilver basically looked like someone just bought him a morph suit. He just wore skins. He wore Under Armour, that's about it, in the first film. But I'm digging it. I also like the cover of Empire as well, with the half-ripped Iron Man mask and the half-ripped Cap shield.
Because that could never happen.
You reckon Cap shield's going to get ripped?
No.
You don't reckon? I think they've been foreshadowing this rip.
It's vibranium, though.
Yeah, you can rip it with other vibranium, though.
Oh, like, so
it's
you
like a diamond
Black
could hit a
Panther
diamond. Black Panther could rip it. Or, like, slice it.
He's already scratched it, you know that.
But... Yeah. But I think they've foreshadowed this broken shield thing a lot now, because they foreshadowed it in Ultron as well when it was broken.
Yeah.
They keep breaking the shield in, like, dream sequences and shit. I think that'd be a really cool thing. I think if Ultron ever does come back, kind of later down the line, I think that'd be a really cool scene. That kind of him catching it and ripping it, I think it'd be pretty sweet. But that's kind of all I had for.
I saw a picture with Thor. Like, so you got what's his name? Yeah, Hemsworth.
Hemsworth, yeah.
Crossbones and Quake in the same plane.
Oh yeah, no, I did.
And
I was on Twitter.
Quake's from Shield.
Quake's from Shield.
So I don't know if she'll be in this one, or otherwise she'll definitely be in Humans, because she's got the power.
They're still
to
doing Inhumans.
I think they've still got it on like
it keeps
pictures.
getting pushed back and everything.
Well, it's 2019, wasn't it?
It was 2019, then it got pushed. I believe it got pushed to 2020,
okay.
and then now it's just ETA. Like it's just like it's just soon. Like you know what I mean? It's a bit like it seems a bit weird.
Well, I mean, like Shield have already set up the Inhumans.
Yeah, I think you would, if you didn't do an Inhumans film after setting it up. I think it's just wasted potential.
And you'll see more of them doing the actual power, because in Shield they don't really do much of the powers. You'll get a bigger budget for the movie.
Yeah, of course.
Shield,
yeah. I think
it's probably it'll be good. I want to see, because I'm up to season 3, so.
I want to see Black Bolt. I think Black Bolt will look pretty sweet in a film. I think their biggest problem.
Absorbing Man was cool as well.
Oh really?
The show, yeah. So I want him. I think he's coming back as well, and he was sick. I loved how he just touched everything and just absorbed it.
That's pretty sweet.
Diamond to stop bullets and stuff, which just absorbed the diamond.
I think their biggest problem with Scarlet Witch is that you've got some comic kind of characters have odd powers, and the fact that they don't translate that well to film. Like Scarlet Witch's powers basically are like about like destiny and fate and like cosmosy. It's very weird and hard to explain. So to have...
It'd be cool to see her meet with Doctor Strange.
Basically, yeah. So I think the fact that like, she does mind control and shoots energy balls, I think is a lot easier to convey on film. And that kind of leads into our next topic, actually. Domino might be in Deadpool 2, who has, once again, a weird set of powers that kind of... They're hard to convey. She basically controls luck. So how do you do that on film, right? I think it's going to be a similar thing where
it could be funny as well. They could play it as comedy.
That's very true. They could literally just like
if something happens, she'll be like, "Cool." Like,
true.
Cool.
Yeah. That is very true, actually. Or Deadpool tries to use her for like gambling to make money and things like that, right? Like I think you could
to get a girl or
I think Deadpool
guy.
It's very true. I think Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds, when he confirmed he's pansexual.
He wants to like him to be gay or something in the next movie, or have a gay.
Yeah, he wants to have a boyfriend in the next film. Yeah, I thought it was kind of funny. But Cable and Cable and Domino are what's it called? Kind of have like a relationship. Have had relationships in the past. So I think if Vanessa becomes copycat, and you've got Deadpool, Domino and Cable, you've got that kind of, if all four of them are there, you've almost got that buddy cop romantic double date vibe, right? And I feel like there's some good. I think there's a good material there to kind of work off.
It's because it's so much different as well than all the Marvel movies.
It's very true, and also I don't really think X-Men's doing anything with Domino anytime soon. I
haven't really heard of her till now.
I just remember.
I know more about like the Avengers side of things than the X-Men kind of side.
That's true. Yeah. I know. I've heard of her. I probably read a comic or two with her in, but she's very similar to Deadpool when the fact that she's kind of like ex-mercenary. Basically, yeah. And I feel like if she's kind of not happy-go-lucky, but if she's more kind of positive, and then Cable's kind of the straight man, and then Deadpool's kind of over-the-top funny, I think you've got that kind of group dynamic which works, and that's why Guardians worked so well, is that you've got Drax, super straight-faced, Rocket, super cocky, Groot, kind of lovable, Star-Lord, kind of cocky as well, and Gamora, who's just kind of badass. That's how the group dynamic works. That's how that stuff works so well.
Who do you think could play her?
Domino? I mean, really, I think the nice thing about having a character like Domino, where she has no real true history with people, you've kind of got the opportunity to really let her be anyone. Like, it's not like, I think a character like Wolverine, I think is so ingrained in people's minds that when they eventually recast Hugh Jackman, you're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
Domino,
no one's going to be happy.
No one's going to be happy.
Because they love to complain about everything.
Exactly. I think Domino's at a point where you can really cast anyone.
Yeah.
There isn't really a particular person. I know there's this big push for Keira Knightley to play Domino, because she played someone called Domino in a film. Not Domino, but who would I play?
I don't really like Keira Knightley.
You don't like Keira Knightley?
No, I don't really like her.
She's definitely the worst bits of the Pirates films.
Yeah. I don't like her jaw. She's got like a little mouth.
Oh wait, does she?
Yeah, I don't know. The way she speaks, she always looks like angry, and her like bottom jaw is higher than her first front of teeth.
Oh, she looks like Buzz Collington from.
Yeah.
But instead of a big mouth, she's got a small mouth. I think Domino. I haven't really thought about it too much as far as who can cast, but
She looks like a couple actors in the picture.
Okay.
No, I'm getting a couple of ideas, but
Who
I can't put names on them.
What have they been?
It's
in?
just like what they look. Well, she kind of looks like the girlfriend in the movie looks like she could play her as well.
Oh yeah, Vanessa. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. I think.
Otherwise, I think what's it, the chick that's playing Oracle in Batman Superman could also play her as well.
Oh,
like she looks
Jenna
kind of
Malone.
like, yeah.
Yeah, she has a bit of. She has a bit of a Jenna Malone vibe actually in that photo.
I just hope they don't really cast like a big time, like say a actor like what's her name, Jennifer Lawrence, something like that, like an actor like that.
Just for the
it
sake
just
of
wouldn't
it,
work.
Yeah. I think T.J. Miller was in an interview recently, and I think he did it. I think he kind of described why Deadpool worked so well. Is that Ryan Reynolds has been typecast as this kind of rom-com,
just rom-com, yeah.
Like that kind of shit. When realistically, the guy's genuinely funny. But the problem, weirdly enough, his problem comes from the fact that he is so goddamn handsome. Because people see him and just immediately assume, oh, he's not funny, or he's not this, or he's not that.
Yeah.
But you cover his face in a film, he's perfect.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because you don't think of him as Ryan Reynolds.
He can finally explore what he wants to do.
And I think even in, what's it called? Suicide Squad, I think Jai Courtney has been typecast as the action hero, and he's not good at it.
Yeah.
Time and time again, he's proven it that he's not a good actor at that. But it looks great as Captain Boomerang when he's kind of goofy and dumb, and maybe that's what he's good at. I think it's a little bit with I think there's some actors out there. Henry Cavill's another one that comes to mind. He's kind of I think he's great at Superman. Don't get me wrong, but every other film he's been in, Man from U.N.C.L.E.,
it's not him.
I'm drawing a blank, but he was in another film recently. It was kind of like a period piece film, and he's just kind of boring and no one really. But then that video, we're not covering it today because there wasn't really much to talk about. But that video with the kids,
yeah,
and that's all improv. He's genuinely funny.
Sarcasm and
he's sarcastic. I think it's funny. Like Jai Courtney, Henry Cavill, and Ryan Reynolds, I think have found this niche where they're like, they're not bad looking guys, but they're not rom-com guys.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit like Jared Butler tries that rom-com thing. I think Jared Butler's just a straight up action guy. 300 Olympus Has Fallen. He works as an action hero. He doesn't work as a rom-com with Katherine Heigl. I think that's I don't know. That was a weird.
Katherine Heigl. It
was a weird. I think Rock as well. I think Rock's doing incredibly well with that kind of actiony, funny side because he is genuinely funny.
Yeah.
Domino. Also, the thing is, Domino now kind of pins the question of X-Men's finishing up. Apocalypse will end that trilogy as far as First Class, Days of Future Past, and then Apocalypse. And I can only assume Fox are terrified of recasting Wolverine. I think they're scared of it.
Yeah.
Do you think we will stop having X-Men films for a while and X-Force will take over? You introduce Domino, Cable, Deadpool, a couple of others, maybe even if you cast Wolverine, instead of recasting Logan, you recast Logan's daughter or X-23. You have a Wolverine that's not Wolverine.
Yeah, so you can get away with it.
Basically, yeah. It's like recasting Green Lantern, but instead of Hal Jordan, you use John Stewart. You just use a different Green Lantern. So people are still getting their fix, but they're not, So I think there's a possibility that we give it a couple of years for X-Men. We let the hype die down. And people aren't going to forget Hugh Jackman, but let them forget him a little bit.
Yeah.
And then bringing X-Men back after
Then he can come back as Old Man Logan because he doesn't need to get fit for that. He just needs to be an old man.
Basically, he just needs to be like normal. Yeah. He doesn't need to be incredibly ripped or anything. But so I reckon X-Force could take over as far as an R-rated X-Force series.
Yeah.
Which I think would be really sweet. You got Cable, Domino, maybe an X-23, Deadpool.
Don't know much about X-23, but
X-23, I believe. I'm sure I'm going to get corrected on this, but I believe it's like Logan's daughter, but it's something to do with like they used his genetics to make her, so she's kind of test tube baby using his genetics, so she has his powers. But I believe
wanted more of him.
She doesn't have 3 claws, she has 2. So the middle one's missing, so it's almost like kind of spikes, I guess.
Yeah.
But
skewer.
Yeah, like a skewer kind of thing. Yeah. So I think that'd be kind of cool. We do X-Force for a while. X-Men, don't forget, we've had X-Men since 2001, something like that.
3?
Was it 3? Okay.
Oh no, I think it's 1.
It was around the same time as Spider-Man, I think, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. So I think we've had it a while. We could give it a break.
I watched that number 1 the other day.
What, the Spider-Man one?
No, X-Men 1.
X-Men 1. You still like? Did it hold up?
Yeah, it's alright. I don't like Storm.
No one likes Storm.
Yeah.
That's not true. I just don't like Halle Berry's Storm.
Yeah, I don't
Storm as a
like
character is fine.
Yeah, no, she's fine. And I liked they had Sabretooth.
Sabretooth's great. I love Sabretooth.
But isn't Sabretooth Logan's brother?
Yeah, but they just don't explain it in the first one.
Yeah.
They just pretend he's like a wild animal.
Yeah, he's like someone wild.
At no point does he mention he's like his brother. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's super weird. Sabretooth's really cool. X-Men 2 I think is probably my favourite X-Men. Actually no, Days of Future Past is my favourite, but apart from that I think number 2. The mansion scene. Literally, you've got Nightcrawler like teleporting throughout the White House, which is amazing, and then you've got the mansion scene where it's just him spiking people, which is great.
Yeah.
But no, X-Men 2 is, I think, X-Men 2 and Spider-Man 2 I think were films that kind of superseded their original. Yeah. So I think that might cover it as far as Marvel news.
Yeah.
We'll have a palate cleanser before we go into
DC.
Specifically Batman v Superman. Actually, DC as a whole, yes, but Batman v Superman, and then we've got some Justice League after that.
Yes.
So, this is borderline not even really news. I just kind of wanted to throw it in there for the discussion. But Ronda Rousey has once again said that she wants to play another blonde female in a film. It didn't work with Captain Marvel. I think they've kind of got rid of her, and she wants to now play Samus in the Metroid film that apparently is not even happening. So basically she wants to play Samus, which, look, as a whole, I'm a big Ronda Rousey fan as far as a fighter. I think she's arguably one of the best fighters we've ever had.
Yeah.
Not even just female or male. She's up there with Evander Holyfield, Tyson, the greats, right? So
yeah.
I think Ronda Rousey, I don't think that she's a particularly bad actress. I think she was fine in what she does. She needs practice and she needs training like any other actor.
Yeah.
But as far as a Metroid movie, I kind of thought about this, right? Nintendo are a weird company. They're a little bit late to the game, and they don't do things that people think they should be doing already. They should have had a theme park a decade ago, but they're only just making one now in Japan.
Yeah.
So they're kind of late to the game. And as far as movies, they did the Super Mario Bros. Film in the 80s, which was critically and financially just a disaster. And as a film, it was a disaster as well.
Yeah.
And then, so I think the argument is, you don't want a repeat of that. But then again, that was 3 decades ago. You get over it, right?
Yeah.
But also, this kind of leads into the fact that Metroid, there's a possibility here as far as a film. I mean, Star Wars, everyone loves Star Wars. It's incredibly successful. I think right now it's sitting at, I believe it's like the 3rd highest grossing film of all time.
Oh wow.
Just before Avatar and Titanic. James Cameron still can't be beat apparently. Star Trek as well. They're getting a 3rd one, incredibly popular, and Guardians, incredibly popular. You're at a point now where sci-fi never really went away, but sci-fi is really big right now.
It's reaching out to the younger community now.
Exactly. And Metroid doesn't need to be R-rated. You can happily make that a PG-13 movie, because Hollywood doesn't have a problem with you shooting the hell out of aliens. It only has a problem with you shooting the hell out of people. So think about all, like, I don't know how familiar you are with Metroid, but it's kind of, there are so many planets and so many things and so many creatures, and there's so much visually going on. It kind of lends itself to a film. Also, you've got the added bonus of Samus being female.
Yeah.
Rey. I mean, the argument of Rey in Star Wars. The female lead is gone as far as it doesn't make money. That rumor's gone. That myth has been debunked. But and that kind of opens the argument to do you think this is a good idea, for one, and two, do you think Nintendo have the potential to make more films, and what would you like to see?
Yeah, I think they're just maybe scared.
Maybe scared. They're as a company, they're quite scared of a lot of things. They're very hesitant on what they do and don't do.
I think a Metroid move could work.
I think Metroid would work.
Definitely.
Also, don't forget as well, we're in kind of this renaissance now of, I mean, don't get me wrong, I haven't seen Warcraft, and of course I haven't seen Assassin's Creed, but their movies are now being made. So you've got this, I mean, Warcraft is an incredibly large film. Assassin's Creed looks fairly big as well.
I mean, the trailer didn't look bad. Like,
No,
I'm not a Warcraft fan, but I would watch it.
Yeah, it of course, yeah. Like it interesting.
I probably wouldn't know anything much about it because it's like Easter eggs or the terminology and stuff.
Yeah,
it looks like kind of Lord of the Rings ish.
I don't know the lore.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that as far because I never really got into World of Warcraft to be honest, or Warcraft as a whole. But I think you're at a point now where you could make a great Metroid film. I think Super Mario Bros. I don't think it lends itself to film. I know it's their popular one, but what would you really do their plumbers? It's not that.
Yeah.
Link. Don't forget they're still making. I'm putting that in air quotes.
Are they?
They're still making that Netflix series.
Okay.
Yeah, Legend of Zelda.
Are they?
Yeah, they confirmed it like a while ago, but there's been nothing of it since. No one's heard of it since. So it might be kind of on the back burner, but they might be still making it. But hey, look, if Warcraft and Assassin's Creed take off, if that Legend of Zelda series takes off, I don't know how you're going to do Legend of Zelda with Link not talking.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting.
Hey,
but,
listen.
no, that's Navi.
That's Navi.
Link just doesn't talk, period. He just says, ha, when he rolls. That's about it. But yeah, so you've got, Navi. Jesus, I don't even think of Navi as far. Oh man, that's going to be painful.
Navi will be Aziz Ansari.
Oh god.
Hey, listen.
Jeez. That would actually work so well. That's the sad bit. That would actually be almost perfect casting. You talk about Hugh Jackman's born to play Wolverine. Robert Downey Jr. is born to play Tony Stark. Aziz Ansari born to play Navi. So I think look, there's a potential for this, man. Like I don't know if it'll happen, but she's already playing. She's playing Patrick Swayze's character in Roadhouse, the Roadhouse remake, where she's basically a bartender. She beats the shit out of people, which I think is perfect for Ronda Rousey. Yeah. But she's still doing films and that kind of thing. And I think the inevitable end of her career is fairly soon. I think she'll beat Holly Holmes, and she'll retire. I think that's.
And go into acting.
Go into acting, yeah, because it's less injury, it's more money, it's more kind of she did pretty well. I've seen not Fast and Furious, but I'm on about Expendables 3. I didn't see Fast and Furious, but apparently she was fine in it. And yeah, so I thought that's kind of cool. So I'd be all for it. I don't know how successful it'll be, but if it works, it works. Awesome. All right, Nathan, lead us into the next topic.
All right, the next topic is the runtime of Batman vs Superman.
Mm-hmm. It's confirmed, and new character posters as well.
Yeah, which I love the character posters.
Yeah,
all the individual logos and stuff. Like, I've never actually seen a Wayne logo. Wayne, like for Alfred's one.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, true. Wayne Enterprises usually has like a lot of. You all see their kind of logo in like the Nolan films and all that. But yeah, as far as like Wayne Manor having a logo, the runtime was confirmed at 151 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I seen that and I thought, that's like probably a fairly standard runtime for a film of this caliber. But I found out it's actually 10 minutes longer than Marvel's longest film. It's 10 minutes longer than Ultron. So this thing's long as shit. Now that you think about it, like 151 doesn't sound like incredibly long, but it's actually a fairly bloody long film.
It needs to be long to fit all the stuff that we need to see.
Yeah, I think if anyone was like, I kind of suspected it's basically like 2.5 hours basically.
Yeah. It's great.
Which is fairly long. Yeah, I would shit me. I'd take the 12-hour unedited director's cut if I could. But I think that's going to be pretty sweet. The character posters look great as well. Alfred looks great. I think honestly, this is probably Lex Luthor's best look. He's the most Lex looking. He doesn't look obnoxious, mainly because he's not moving or talking. He's basically a statue in the thing. So, but no, I think Lex looks really good. I like the Lex Corp logo. I think it's interesting as well because even in the animated series and in previous films, they've always played on the L being the logo of LexCorp.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's the X, which I think is kind of cool.
It looks more villainous.
It does, yeah. And then Daily Planet logo. I'm not a fan of the whole date being right in the middle of it. I think it takes your eye away from it.
Oh, you can't. Yeah, sometimes you don't even see it. It's an American date as well.
Yeah, it's American Day, so it's the you got to flip them.
A month before.
Exactly. Yeah. But no, I think they look pretty sweet as far as character posters. I think I was at the cinemas actually the other day, and I finally seen Batman v Superman posters. I haven't actually seen one in the wild yet, but I've finally seen a couple. I've seen Wonder Woman, Batman like armored suit Batman, and then Superman as well, which I thought was pretty sweet.
Oh, nice.
Not bad, not bad.
But that's it on the runtime, really. That was just the runtime.
Yeah, it's just more kind of news for the sake of news, really. But yeah, it's interesting. 2.5 hours. Pretty happy with that. So March 24th for us, and then 25th for America.
And tickets, we will be getting tickets tomorrow.
Yeah, we're buying tickets tomorrow. Good God, I hope to Christ they haven't sold out like Argentina. That baffles me, to be honest, that they're sold out. It really surprises me. Yeah, cool. All right, so next Batman v Superman, actually the last Batman v Superman topic, which kind of it got a lot of shit. But then again, I think DC's in a position now where everything gets a lot of shit. No matter what they do, they can't win.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's going to be a director's cut, which will be R-rated, of Batman v Superman. The argument being, oh, well, Deadpool got a R rating, we should have a R rating. But apparently this was submitted to the board, like the ratings board, months ago.
Yeah.
It was like late 2015, I believe, is when it got submitted. And also the R-rated scene is just for Blu-ray release only, so there'll be a theatrical release, which will be PG-13, and a director's cut, I assume, on the same disc, or possibly separate discs. But then it begs the question: what makes it R-rated?
Yeah, because it's a big jump from PG-13.
It's a big jump. You got to do something pretty. You got to do something pretty brutal. You either got to include a lot of nudity, which I don't think they do. I don't think that's the tone they're going for. You got to do something incredibly brutal, violent-wise.
Otherwise, you lose a lot of drugs.
Or a lot of drugs, and I think Superman, Batman, I don't think they lend themselves to drugs. I also don't think they lend themselves to nudity. I think what'll do it, I think Jason Todd death scene. I think they're going to show a bloody as all hell Jason Todd death scene.
Oh.
A flashback of something to do with like Bruce is in the Batcave.
Yeah.
He looks at the suit, that haha, the joke's on you, Batman, and I think it'll just be flickers in his mind, or he'll wake up in the middle of the night, and it'll just be this kind of dream sequence of Joker beating the shit out of them. Because don't forget, a while ago, I can tell, it's a podcast, so you can't see Nathan's face, but I can tell he loves this idea. He's on board. I can see that smile. I'm gonna get on my fucking soapbox for a second. So, I think you've got the possibility of, you can show it in R-rated. I think in the PG-13, it'll be implied that he got beaten the shit out of. You'll never see it. Also, don't forget, a while ago, there was Joker, Jared Leto, was on set of Batman v Superman in costume. And it was like literally just someone took like some paparazzi, took some shots of him kind of with a coat on, I think kind of walking out of the studio. So he apparently filmed a scene, just a small scene in Batman v Superman. And I think it's almost perfect. It almost lines up too well.
Yeah.
You've got also if any fans like, oh, I want to do Jason Todd like the Red Hood thing. I think you can still do Red Hood. That doesn't rule that out. I think you just have the scene, that pivotal scene, which is so iconic, and it's so memorable and kind of in the ether of Batman. It's so important.
Yeah.
You can show it. It can be R-rated. In the PG-13, it can be implied, or maybe even show it, but it's just not to that extent. It's almost that it's, maybe you can hear him screaming or something. You don't see it, it's that kind of there, kind of it's there, but it's not all there kind of vibe. But I think that would be pretty sweet. I think that's what it's going to be. I can't think of another scene that you could do. I mean, maybe the Wayne's dying. It's like extremely bloody, but I doubt it. I think the simplicity of the Wayne's kind of just the bullets, slow motion, they drop. Almost no blood. I mean, maybe a bit of blood, but that kind of poetic scene.
Yeah.
It's almost like, it's in a morbid way, it's almost beautiful how that thing is shot, usually anyway. So I think it doesn't lend itself to
It'll probably be in like slow motion as well.
Slow motion, it'll be like opera music. I think in a weird way, I think it might be, it might be kind of poetic. But what do you think? What scenes have you got?
Because the only other thing I was thinking,
I took the easy one. Let's be honest.
Brutal like fighting, but like if people would start complaining if he snapped more necks or like like he really injured people badly, people would be like, "Oh, not Batman."
If you have to re-edit the film, it's easier to take just an entire scene out than to edit chunks. You'd be like, why does Batman not fight anyone? Well, that's in the R-rated version. You'd be like, what the fuck? Why am I not? I paid to see Batman fight someone.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Superman's just gonna like laser beam someone in half. You know, I can't see them going that route. But I genuinely, I'm struggling to think of another scene that you could do.
Well, I didn't actually know about the Joker scene on set for a scene.
Oh, that was ages ago. Like it got covered. It was big news at the time, but people kind of forgot about it. And I think, I think people kind of forgot about it. But no, I remember him being. He was on set. It was like when Ben Affleck was seen, because they filmed Suicide Squad in Toronto. I'm pointing as if it's like next door. Like, I don't know why I pointed. Toronto, like the next town over.
Otherwise,
like the other side of the planet.
They could do an Oracle thing, because Oracle's in the movie.
Very true. Very true. They shoot her in the spine. You do a bit of a Killing Joke vibe. Well, that scene anyway from Killing Joke. Yeah, that would need an R-rated. You can't really cripple someone in PG-13.
No.
Yeah, true. I think Jason Todd
would be dark as well.
Be incredibly dark. I think Oracle, the creation of Oracle, or Jason Todd's death scene, I think are the only two scenes that really come to mind.
Yeah.
As far as an R-rated. I'm trying to think. Swearing? No, I don't really. Neither of them really lend themselves to swearing. There's no real.
Song gets blown up.
Because don't forget as well, The Dark Knight, who people would argue is one of the darkest superhero films of all time, was still, I believe, PG-13.
Yeah.
So they got away with a lot. So for you to be able to get away with all that, but PG-13, you've got to do something so over the top to get that R rating.
Yeah.
I think it'd be Jason Todd's death scene, or possibly even Oracle. I think that was a good one as well. Sweet. All right. So next is taking a break from DC for a second, but still sticking to the realm of. I mean, it's not really superhero related. It's kind of superhero related.
Kind of, yeah.
Pacific Rim 2 is still going ahead. Apparently, it's not been cancelled, which I think a lot of us believed it to be. No, Pacific Rim's still alive and kicking. But one big thing has changed. I will butcher his name. Guillermo Del Toro. We're gonna go with that. It's been taken off. He's not directing it. He is off the project. Taking over is Stephen D. Knight, who he's never directed before. It's a directorial debut, but he was the season 1 executive producer and head writer of
Spartacus.
Daredevil. Daredevil season 1. Did he also do Spartacus? I don't know. I know he did Daredevil as well. I know he did season 1 of Daredevil, but he's not doing season 2. They've kind of swapped people out. But he did Spartacus.
He created Spartacus.
Oh, he created Spartacus. Yeah. So he created Spartacus. Season 1 of Daredevil. So the guy's things pretty good, right?
Yeah, he is.
I kind of trust the guy. I mean, he hasn't directed before, but I think we're in pretty safe hands.
Those two things have done well.
Exactly. Yeah, they're incredibly successful series. But that kind of opens up the idea of one. I believe you've seen Pacific Rim. Have you seen Pacific Rim?
Yeah, I've seen Pacific.
It's a good movie. I
only saw it once, and
I've seen.
Was it? It's got
It's got Ron.
What's his name? Yeah. In the after credit scene, he's alive, whatever.
That's pretty cool.
And it's got the guy from Luther.
Oh, Idris Elba.
Idris Elba, yeah.
Idris, same thing really. Idris Elba's there, and then Charlie Hunnam, I think it is. Yeah, Charlie Hunnam. Charlie Day as well.
Yeah.
I think Pacific Rim did really well. It was incredibly successful at the box office.
And China.
It was like literally like a quarter of the profit came from China.
Because of robots.
Because the robots, fucking Chinese. The Chinese love robots. It's like their favorite thing. That's why Iron Man does so well overseas, and Transformers does so well overseas. So that kind of opens up the question. Guillermo Del Toro, what do we want him working on next? What do we want? A lot of people want him to do Hellboy 3 to finish off that trilogy. A lot of people apparently he wants to do the
rom-com.
Rom-com and everything he does. Apparently he wants to do a Shadow of the Colossus movie, the PS2 game.
Oh yeah.
He's like it's like one of his favorite games.
Nice.
He might be working on that.
A horror one.
I don't think they'll be making Crimson Peak 2 with that box office number.
A better Silent Hill.
Hills. And then alright, so this is what I've got as
Ghost
far as
Rider.
Ghost Rider. I think he could lend himself to Ghost Rider very well. I'll pitch you what I've got, and then you tell me yay or nay.
Alright.
And by you, I mean the audience and also Nathan. So, Guillermo Del Toro directing, and I think we're ready for it. Justice League Dark. So Justice League Dark, for those who aren't aware, is the Justice League kind of, but they're all supernatural. So Swamp Thing,
yes,
Constantine if you're American. Yeah. Oh god, what's her bloody name? It's not Shazam. It's like kind of like Shazam. She's like magic and stuff. It's anyone kind of basically supernatural or magic-y. Yeah. But I think he's weird enough to pull off the Pan's Labyrinth-y kind of obscure supernatural vibe.
Yeah, no.
He's also free to do it as well. He's already said he's interested in it as far as a project. And I think if Suicide Squad is successful, and I think it will be financially, you will have the ability to now kind of almost have like that Guardians Ant-Man vibe where the people want weird, give them weird.
Yeah.
What's the weirdest shit we've got? Well, we've got Suicide Squad, a bunch of crooks with bombs in their head, and we've also got a Justice League made out of supernatural people.
Yeah.
Also opens up the floor for Swamp Thing, played by Ron Perlman. Because Ron Perlman's going to be in there somewhere, and he's kind of the perfect Swamp Thing. He's basically the perfect Hellboy as well. But Hellboy 3 or Justice League Dark, I think, is what I would pick. But I think if Suicide Squad is successful, I would greenlight Justice League Dark. Because I think we're kind of ready for it.
Is Hellboy DC or Marvel?
Hellboy is Dark Horse Comics. It's like there's Dark Horse, Image, Boom, IDW.
So it's like their main thing, or
it's basically their main thing. Yeah. To be fair, Dark Horse is actually a fairly big company now, but I would say Hellboy's their biggest.
Yep.
Sweet. All right. Is that a Pacific Rim?
Yeah.
And then funny enough, back to DC. A couple of Justice League stories, and then that'll wrap it up for the movie section of today. Sweet. So, you want to start it? You want to go ahead?
Justice League has started filming.
Yes, it has.
We've seen a couple of pictures, announcements.
Mm-hmm. Which is funny as well, because remember that kind of, there's this weird smear campaign that's been happening recently with DC. Remember the Hitflix guy? Some guy who worked at Hitflix came out and was like, oh yeah, Justice League. They showed some preview screenings of Batman v Superman, and it was really hated. So they've fired Henry Cavill. They're recasting Superman. They've pushed Justice League back. Wonder Woman's been pushed back. Like that, there's all this like. It was just all bullshit. It came out of this guy's mouth. He's been fired since.
Yeah.
Because he just hates on DC for some reason. I guess it's the fun thing to do. But yeah. So I think
I keep forgetting it comes out next year.
Yeah.
Like it feels like a Batman solo film should at least come out before Justice League.
I feel like a lot of solo films should come out before Justice League. I think
the Avengers.
Batman.
You know what I mean?
Basically, I think we should get a Batman solo film. I think we should get an Aquaman. I think at least Superman's kind of got his solo film already.
Yeah.
I think Wonder Woman, Batman, and Aquaman. I think your main four should have it first. But this Justice League filming thing, I think, came out of Warner Brothers panicking and going, "Oh God, I think people believe this thing's real. Like it's like we edited it, it's done really well. Like where's everyone making all this bullshit up? Fuck it, you know what? I'll debunk it. Release the filming schedule for Justice League. It's not been pushed back. Hell, we've brought it forward. It's April 11th. Get ready, kids." So it's kind of debunked the whole Hitflix thing. Like, I got fired since, I can't remember his name. I don't think anyone does. No. I think he's kind of out of media as a whole now. And then it was kind of just like the fact that it was like all this BS coming out, which I think was kind of weird. But you said before about the behind the scenes shots of Justice League. Oh, I said behind the scenes shots. One shot, sorry, but there was a hell of a lot in that shot. Run us through. What did you see? Right, I think everyone kind of sees different things. It's a bit like a Rorschach test. We all see different things.
Go from right. We've got.
Okay, so we're all looking at the image. Hang on, give us a sec. Let me get the image up. You guys are looking at the image now on YouTube. All right, cool. I got the image.
So you got Batman's cow on the right on the table.
Batman's cow. Do you think that looks any different than Batman v Superman, or do you think that's the same? To me, it looks slightly. I would maybe say larger, but I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, it looks a bit. I don't know if it looks a bit angrier, like the noise is pointier or something, but
maybe I mean, maybe it's like slight alterations, but nothing too major.
Yeah. Then the figure behind it, it's a female costume, pretty sure, because it looks like the chest is pretty sticking.
It's pretty pronounced.
Sticking out, yeah. So I don't actually know what that is.
Possibly Mera.
Mera?
Aquaman's wife.
Oh yeah.
Wait, hang on. Oh shit. Now I'm getting confused. Is it his wife or his bloody mom? I forgot now. Give us a sec. Let me Google it.
But yeah, so her, and then I see a boot which looks like Aquaman's boot.
It looks very Atlantean.
Yeah.
You know.
Is that it? Atlantean? Is that
Atlantean? Yeah. I think that's how it is. Isn't it?
And then in the background you got, I guess, kind of like a Batman kind of armored kind of suit. And then you got Aquaman's one, just sitting there.
Aquaman's
because
very
you
cool,
know it's Aquaman's because it's Jason Momoa's kind of figure.
Also, you can tell it's you know how like Avengers and I think most superhero films, they always have like a new suit for the films.
Yes.
Like there's always slightly improved.
Yeah, Iron Man, Mark whatever.
Oh, I mean, yeah, Iron Man's the most obvious one, but even Ant-Man gets like a new suit, right?
Yeah.
So I think this is cool because Aquaman in the first film, in the Aquaman, it's not even out yet, but in the Aquaman film, you can tell from the Unite the Seven poster, it's very kind of bare bones. It's almost like not even really warrior. It's kind of just like casuals. This is like straight up armor. It looks like one piece, which is pretty sweet.
In the very back, on the right of that
just
black
before
thing.
The black. What do you think it is?
Because it doesn't really look.
It's very generic.
Yeah, it's very generic. Because I was like, it could be a Batman thing, but.
You know, I'll give you mine.
Looks like a Zod kind of thing.
I'll give you mine. Oh, there's a bit Zodish actually. That's very true.
What do you think?
I've got two things written down. I think possibly Nightwing.
Isn't Nightwing blue though?
It is, but it hasn't been. That could possibly not have been painted yet.
Okay.
There's a chance that that's just the base coat. Or
does it have a cape?
Does it have a cape? Hang on, that might change things.
Because if it has a cape, then no, it wouldn't be Nightwing. But
it looks like just things are behind it.
Okay.
So you've got the chance of it being Nightwing, which I think is a fairly big possibility. Because even if you look, there's that V, which you could paint to look like a bird. Or I had Black Manta, who is Aquaman's
because
villain.
on the right of that thing, there's like a head, his eyes popping out, and there's something covering his face.
Oh yeah, true. It looks almost. I'm trying to zoom in on this. It looks almost face huggerish.
Yeah. I don't know what that is, but a Black Man. Yeah, there's only like 3 main Aquaman villains, isn't there?
Yeah, it's like Ocean Master.
Yeah, and
Black Manta. And then
the Kraken.
And then BP after the oil spill. The ocean. That's basically it.
Oh god.
So there's the ocean. There's any
remember,
oil company.
I'm trying to think of the villain issues.
I love your face at first when
Aquaman.
you're like, BP, I'm not aware of this one.
The Aquaman New 52, the villain off things, the lenticular ones.
Yeah.
There is a Black Manta, there is an Ocean Master, and I think there was a third one, but I forgot.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not that familiar with Aquaman.
Yeah. But then you got the Flash in the back.
The Flash was
very shiny,
pretty rad. You know what's funny as well about that suit, and that's part of interest. Because everyone goes, "Oh, it's the Flash." That's the obvious bit, right? I think anyone can kind of figure that one out. But the thing that kind of interests me is I don't think it's Barry Allen. It doesn't look particularly Barry Allen. It looks very Wally West. I think it might be Wally West because Wally West has been kind of both. It's been both black and white in the comics, as far as race. But I think because don't forget, Ezra Miller doesn't look particularly Barry Allen-ish. He doesn't really.
Barry has like blonde hair.
Yeah, he just kind of It's not. I mean, even fucking Grant Gustin in the series isn't even blonde, but I think there's a chance that it might be Wally West. I think he would be a better Wally West, than Barry Allen. And also, there's also that little photo down there.
Yeah. I
think people are thinking that's Mera.
Oh, okay.
She kind of suits that kind of like Atlantean Queen of Atlanta's vibe, but also. If you go over on the right-hand side next to the boot on the table, there's some kind of helmet. It looks very Greek. I thought maybe Ares, the god of war, but I think
it's black as well. Oh no.
Yeah, I think it's kind of blackish.
And it's got that thing on top, like the
that Spartan kind.
Actually, it's like it's not like a fat. It's like a Thor kind of mask. How it just covers the sides,
or even
like a Spartan one.
Spartan, yes. I was going to say 300. Yeah. So I was thinking maybe possibly Ares, who the Wonder Woman. Actually, no, that's right. I don't think he's... No, she is a Wonder Woman. He is a Wonder Woman villain, I believe. But he's basically the god of war.
Yeah.
And then you've got... That's possibly just maybe like a generic helmety soldier thing, which is also like an Atlantean warrior.
Yeah.
That's also what made me think about maybe the face thing. It's possibly just a guard of some kind.
Yeah.
So it might not be that important, but I think that'd be.
But that's it for the coverage there. There's nothing really else there. Everything's there for a reason. He's placed everything
basically
there.
Yeah. Also, it's weird because like what's his name? Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa looks like a genuine, like he's genuinely enjoying it.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder. Not so
Yeah.
much. He looks real tired.
I need a coffee.
It looks like he's been beaten up.
It's exhausted.
It looks like the Batman v Superman shit is getting to him.
Yeah.
But I think I remember when Avengers got announced. I mean, this is years ago. It's probably like when did it come out? 2012. So pre-2012 when it got announced. I just remember like all like the behind the scenes stuff and all these things coming out, and like I was excited. Don't get me wrong, but I was just like, there will be a day when they're doing this for Justice League, and I will get to sit there and look at every fucking image and every video and analyze the shit out of it. Hell, even make a podcast out of it, and it's like it's so cool to see this stuff because this is so ingrained in my childhood. It's so ingrained in who I am, and it's so awesome to be like, it fucking blows my mind that's a place you can go to. I mean, obviously, like the general public can't, but there's a warehouse somewhere in the world that has a fucking Batman suit and a Flash suit and an Aquaman suit and like all this shit. And there are people that get paid to be part of this.
Yeah.
They don't do it for free because God knows I would.
Yeah.
I would just accept. I would take no money.
Here's your coffee, sir. Here's your coffee.
Exactly. I would be fucking Zack Snyder's ass wiper if I could for free to just to be part of this, right? Like part of this universe, and it's so awesome that this is now happening, right? Like this is, I don't know. It's just really cool, man. Like I'm so jacked. Like it comes out next year. But I mean, Batman comes out like fucking. We're buying tickets we are basically like buying tickets for Dark Knight Returns tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like that fucking. That's insane to me. Like that. Like the world we live in. Like, look, we've got enough problems in this world. I get it. Between terrorism and immigration problems and the economy and just
Trump and ISIS.
Yeah, which I feel like kind of go together. Really, I feel like Trump's part of that. But we live in a fucking world where we are buying tickets to Dark Knight Returns, the movie. Like, we're going to get a Wonder Woman film next year. We're getting a fucking Doctor Strange film this year. Like, goddamn, what a world we live in, you know what I mean? Like, it's sometimes, like, I don't know, like, thing is, it's not like we haven't had a good Batman film. We already have, like, amazing Batman films, and now we're getting Aquaman and hell, Suicide Squad. I mean, that's mind-boggling to me. And it's just so sick that, like, that's the world we live in where we are now having the chance. I mean, the Earth's, however many billion years old, and we happen to live in the same time period that these films are being made, which I think is just the coolest shit ever. But
we're the right age to know everything as well.
Yeah, we're kind of the perfect age for it as well, right? Like, we're not young enough. I remember when I seen Star Wars Force Awakens, there were the kids there.
Yeah.
And they were like crazy excited, obviously.
Well, it's the same as when I saw Batman Begins. I was like, well, I don't know basically what's happening,
I remember I seen Batman Begins and I was like, what is it?
It's boring,
and then Dark Knight came out and I think it was a bit older. I was like, oh, this is actually amazing. And I rewatched Batman Begins, and weirdly enough, Batman Begins is my favourite of the three. Oh. I've come to love it. The more I watch it, the more I like it. It's a bit like Man of Steel. The more I watch it, the more I enjoy it. But I know there was these kids when I was watching Star Wars Force Awakens, and they were fairly young. They're probably, let's be honest, probably not going to remember it. They rewatch it when they're adults or when they're older. But I was like, you fucking lucky bastards! You live in a world where the prequels basically don't exist. Like, oh, fucking assholes. I remember being a kid and watching Phantom Menace and thought it was the greatest thing ever invented.
Yeah.
Because I was like 6.
Yeah.
So it was my favorite. But yeah, I was like, you lucky pricks. You don't know what you don't know what you have. Cool. Last bit of Justice League news, which is cool. I think it's pretty sweet news. Speaking of Mera, as we talked before, Amber Heard has been confirmed as Mera, Queen of Atlantis.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm not like a massive Amber Heard fan. She seems fine. I don't think she's going to be in the movie a lot. And she's been in some stuff. I believe she's actually married to Johnny Depp. I think anyway, or dating him at least, whatever. But she's been in some stuff that you probably recognize her from. I don't know what you recognize her from, to be honest.
She looks like a horror film.
Probably. She's probably been in a horror film. She was in Machete. I believe she was in the sequel, Machete 2. Machete Kills Again.
Machete Kills Again, yeah.
Machete Kills. And then the new one.
Machete Kills
in space. Yeah. I can't wait for that. And Amber Heard's going to be playing Mera, which is, we were all kind of expected it. That rumour came out like ages ago. But the big one was that George Miller has been listed as producer on Justice League, which is a big thing because he's not listed as executive producer. Executive producer basically means fuck all. Stan Lee is an executive producer on Civil War. Yeah. How much of that movie making process do you think he was part of? Very little, right? He invented the character, which is ironic enough he actually didn't. He didn't invent Captain America. It's one of the very few he didn't. He invented like Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Hulk, Thor, Iron Man. He invented basically all of them but Captain America. But he's an executive producer on Civil War. The executive producer bit is basically movie speak for fuck all. Yeah. But he's listed as an actual producer, which is funny as well because he was lined up to direct a Justice League movie back in 2008 and he got cancelled. Armie Hammer was going to play Batman, the guy from Lone Ranger. And holy fuck, Man from U.N.C.L.E. So holy shit. So Henry Cavill and Armie Hammer, so almost basically Batman and Superman. Yeah. Basically. Well, the cancelled Batman anyway. But so that was kind of cool that he was directing a Justice League movie. Now he was producing it. I mean, I think Mad Max Fury Road had a lot to do with that. They're like, shit, just get this guy on board. So I think that was pretty sweet. But it's weird. It's weird to think what a 2008 Justice League movie would have looked like.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been good.
You reckon?
I think now that
don't forget 2008 was the day of Dark Knight and Iron Man, so it's not like we didn't have good movies.
I'm just thinking now that because everything's more established.
That's true.
Better, yeah.
We live in a superhero world. Back then we didn't. Yeah. The only superhero movies we had was
back then
The Incredibles.
The off picks, like Hellboy was a movie, Ghost Rider was a movie. Like back then even.
No, Ghost Rider wasn't even a film. I don't think. I think Ghost Rider was probably. No, Ghost Rider might have been a thing.
I think Ghost Rider 1 was, but it wasn't tying into anything. It was just a film.
By then we had what? We had 3 X-Men films.
I didn't even know what was films.
Exactly, right? Yeah, exactly. It's kind of, it's in a pre-comic world, and a pre-superhero movie world anyway. Comic book movies. But that's pretty cool. The thing is as well, you know how they're on about the... you remember that Aquaman poster that came out a while ago, that Unite the Seven? Yeah. And then that Dawn of Justice special, they released that image. I realised there's only 6 on that image. There's Cyborg, Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman.
Well, it has to be Martian Manhunter.
Don't get me wrong, I would love Martian Manhunter. I think he's a perfect person to kind of fit the team. Yeah. I think there is a chance it's Green Lantern. Because they're already going to make Green Lantern films.
Yeah.
But I feel like Green Lantern lends himself to being part of a solo film, and Martian Manhunter doesn't. I think he works so well in a team.
Well, I think he should at least be a part of like the alpha of the group.
Yeah. I would love just like the back and forth between Superman and Batman. Superman and Martian Manhunter. Just as like Superman thinks he's like the greatest thing, like God's fucking gift to man.
He's like, I can do everything you can do and transform.
Yeah. And I can move shit with my mind, and I can phase through walls, and I can shapeshift, and I can change size. Basically he's just more overpowered than Superman, which is amazing. But no, Martian Manhunter would be cool. Green Lantern's more likely out of the two. But I think Justice League... You know how like Avengers, they keep adding Avengers, right? Like, at 2 they had more, 3 they're going to even have more. I think Martian Manhunter, I think, will eventually be done.
I think he would have to be played by a black actor as well.
Yeah.
Painted like greenish.
Weirdly, I would go like Hulk. I think it's Mark Ruffalo, but he's full CGI.
The Vision's kind of looks CGI.
Yeah, basically the Vision. I actually think the Vision's a better example. Thank you. I think who would be actually good. Unfortunately, he is tied up in Marvel. Fucking Idris Elba. I think would be a really good Martian Manhunter. Actually, no. You know who I think would be a really good Martian Manhunter?
He's Heimdall.
He's the doorman. Yeah. You know who I think would be a really good.
You guys say Mark Strong?
I think Mark Strong's got it, man. I think he's got the chops, man. I think literally we only cast Ron Perlman and Mark Strong and everything. But no joke, I actually think he'd be alright. He's not black, but I think he'd be alright. I think he sounds kind of cool, and he has that kind of. He's shiny. You could just paint him green. Low budget. You just literally paint the guy green. That's it for movie news. Anyway, we've covered Marvel and horror and DC and Nintendo. Weirdly enough, but Sweet. Moving on to a little bit of TV, a little bit of games, and then one comic. But the comic one's pretty big though. So TV.
TV is Daredevil season 2 trailer. You've got
season 2 part 2.
Yeah. This one was the second trailer was the Elektra one. And then the first one was the Punisher one. So you're showing both sides of the story.
Out of the two, which one's your favourite?
The Punisher was a good one as well, but I like this one as well. A lot of people didn't like this one, but you asked me before, like, who do you think the bad guy is? Yeah. I think the bad guy is the Yakuza.
Yeah.
After watching this,
there's that Yakuza and there's the Hand. And Stick is kind of Stick's like one of my favourite characters from the first one.
Yeah.
But Stick's back, and he's very much included in the Hand. I think the Yakuza. I think that's. But I feel. Do you feel like the Yakuza kind of just like generic gang?
It's not a comic.
There's not a villain. Yeah. It's just kind of like a faceless gang.
There should be a villain within the Yakuza.
I think there will be. Also, we've got. I think I didn't mind the trailer. I didn't think it was particularly bad. I just think it wasn't as like holy fucking Christ as the first one. I think the Punisher one was a lot better. But that's maybe because I care more for the Punisher than I do Elektra. But the only thing that really kind of I particularly didn't think worked was the costume. I think it was incredibly low budget.
What, Elektra's?
I literally think it was
it's very like
it was like
Matt Murdock's first one. You know what I mean? It's just black clothes.
Basically, it's almost a training suit. Yeah. And I hope they she gets kind of a proper suit by the end. I think if we can get proper red Daredevil versus skull t-shirt Punisher versus red suit Elektra at the end, I think that would be really sweet.
You see like Matt Murdock, Daredevil's like red eye mask and stuff.
Yeah. That's good. So I think that's really cool. As far as
I'm hoping to see maybe a crossover from Luke Cage or Jessica Jones as well.
That'd be pretty sweet. You drop in Luke Cage. Also, the Daredevil's billy clubs, his battens with the...
Yes.
Yeah, I confirmed. I've seen them. They're in the trailer.
I want the... Well, we don't know about them because he swings like Spider-Man on like ropes and shit.
There's a bit where he looks like he's falling, but he's caught someone and he's got like the baton bit, I guess, like the nunchuck bit, and he looks like he's wired onto something. So it looks like just before he falls, it's gonna they're gonna be all right kind of thing. He's gonna catch him on like not like a Gwen Stacy thing. He'll actually catch him. But he's like blind, so like as he catches him, the guy's like neck snaps, like I've saved you, and then he doesn't realize he's dead. Yeah, exactly. You're safe now, and then he's just dead. It just leaves him there. But I thought it was an alright trailer. I don't think it was particularly bad. I'm not less excited for it. It didn't get me hyped like Punisher.
It's next month, isn't it?
Yeah,
around Batman vs Superman.
March 18th.
Yeah.
If I was Marvel,
but you can binge that.
If I was Marvel, and I'm not, but if I was, holy Christ, I would just release it the same day as Batman v Superman. I would fuck with them so much. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Batman v Superman, and I wish it the best. But from a company standpoint, fucking dog eat dog. Yeah. We have no friends. That's it. I would release it the same day. You know what I would do? I would release it the same day.
Yeah.
I would even borderline just go like, you know what? Fuck with them even more. I reckon you release it, make it free. I reckon just like, you know how you can get a free 30-day trial of Netflix?
Yeah.
Let's say you've already used your 30-day trial, doesn't matter. You can log into Netflix, but you can only watch Daredevil. Free. Completely free. But so, you want to go to the cinemas and sit in a broken seat with people on their phones and eat shitty popcorn in front of a movie and pay money? Or at home, comfy, room temperature controlled.
Yeah.
You can pause it whenever you want. You can come back, go to the toilet, grab some food, watch a big flat screen television for free. Which one would you rather do?
God.
I would mess with them so much if I could. That'd basically start. I mean, you want to talk about civil war? That would be a civil war.
Yeah.
Like how angry people would get. But kind of still on the Netflix superhero topic, Iron Fist has been cast. Which the casting didn't surprise me. The fact that we still have an Iron Fist series coming out surprised me. There was a rumor a while ago.
Movie.
Yeah, there was a rumor a while ago. It got cancelled. They didn't think it would work as a TV series. Netflix is trying to get into movies. They thought, fuck it, why don't we have a comic book movie? Hell, everyone else does. Who would work well in a movie? I think Iron Fist would. He's very visually interesting.
Yeah.
Because don't forget, Luke Cage, Daredevil, and Jessica Jones don't really have visual powers. They kind of just... I mean, they're interesting, but they're not like, oh, we need a proper budget for it. Whereas Iron Fist does. You need a genuine budget.
They need some of that kind of magic.
Yeah, it's basically like magic, right? So the Game of Thrones actor, you're probably more familiar with him than I am. Prince of Flowers, that honestly means nothing to me. Apparently he's gay. Someone told me that. You told me that, I think.
Yeah, I told you that. He's gay in the Game of Thrones.
Gay in Game of Thrones. Yeah, Finn Jones is playing Iron Fist. To be honest, I don't really have a problem with it because I don't really know him. I think I trust... At this point, I now just trust Marvel, whoever's running Netflix. Basically, perfect casting of Daredevil, perfect Jessica Jones, perfect Luke Cage. I think they're nailing it across the board. So I trust... My faith is in Finn Jones as Danny Rand. But I think the one of the problems you're going to face with Iron Fist is that his origin story is very incredibly similar to Green Arrow's. Basically, rich kid, his parents die on an expedition, like on adventure. He's betrayed by his co-worker. He trains in an isolated environment for years, returns to his city to avenge his family, but also make his city safe.
Yeah.
So it's a very similar story to Arrow. So you're gonna have to make it a different. They have the budget, which is nice.
Yeah.
But I would do like the Himalayas. I think they did that in New 52. What was it? Oh God, no. What's it called? Marvel, when they rehashed it, the Marvel Now, whatever it is. Before All New, All Different, I think it was Marvel Now. They did like it was in the Himalayas, which I think would be fucking rad to have like an ice environment.
Yeah. It's way away from Hell's Kitchen.
Way away from Hell's Kitchen, yeah, and then kind of to return. So I think that'll be pretty sweet. Yes, I mean, and then we get the Defenders. So there will be a time where we have Justice League.
Maybe the Defenders will be a movie. Well, it is
very true. Defenders. I think Defenders would be a great movie. Actually, now you pointed that out. So we're gonna have Defenders on Netflix as a movie. Let's say Justice League and Avengers. As as films, which would be pretty rad. That's all I had to say anyway about Iron Fist. Anything else?
No, I think that's it. We're
basically the
next thing will probably be like a costume or something like that, leak.
Yeah, costume leak or on-set photos.
Any other people?
True, cast, that kind of thing. And then games.
Yay.
I did some research into Digimon for this. So which Yu-Gi-Oh is your favorite from the new?
Alright, so 20th anniversary Pokemon was Saturday, and we got
to the day. Holy shit! All right.
Yeah, and we got the announcement of Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon.
That's it.
So it looks like
3DS.
It'll be 3DS, and it's a worldwide thing like X and Y. So also we'll be working with Pokemon Bank.
What's that?
That is a subscription service you use on your DS to store every single one of your Pokemon, and you can transfer it to the newer games.
Okay,
but you can even
so it's like save data.
Yeah, you should pretty much just put your Pokemon, put it into the bank, and then you can put that onto another game.
Okay.
Otherwise, there's not enough room in the games to actually store every single 722 Pokemon, so you can put them all in number order on the bank.
Sweet.
But there's actually apparently you can use the bank from like the original red, yellow, and blue from the new 2DS releases, which is good.
Did you pick up that 2DS by the way?
I'm picking it up next week. Oh, this week actually when I get back. So they're actually pretty much sold out Australia. Those special editions.
Yeah, seen.
A lot of people called me because I work at a media entertainment store.
Like a games and DVDs and music kind of store.
So everything. Buy, it's electronics and stuff. Yeah. I'm trying to think of the
Best Buy. I think is that a fairly...
Is that American equivalent?
It's American, but I think it's a fairly universal...
Like Radio Shack or something?
Hey, remember Radio Shack, kids? Welcome to 1994. So I think Best Buy is a pretty good equivalent, but yeah.
But yeah, something like that. I work in the games department. So we got so many calls coming up saying like, he literally just said to everyone, the only red console left in WA, which is, the Western Australia, is mine. Because I haven't bought it yet. So, and the only one that's not already taken by a customer and is not pre-ordered is my one. So everyone keeps calling for it. I'm like, nah, it's mine. Sorry, man.
It's mine. Get off. But should have called earlier.
Sun and Moon, I think it is going to be a next generation. So I think it's going to be the 7th generation of Pokemon.
With from the other week when we talked about that new one, the Clock Pokemon.
Yeah, so that's Magiana.
Yeah, that's
Magiana. That'll be introduced with a new movie, and I think that might be attached to X and Y's list.
Okay.
Like Hooper and stuff were.
Okay, sweet.
But yeah, so you've got what is it? You got Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Shino. Oh wow.
I would help you out.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
No, it's 6th generation.
6th?
Shino. Yeah, Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Shino.
Is that the name of the generations?
Yeah, of the region.
Okay.
Unova, which is X and Y, I'm pretty sure. No, Unova and then Kalos is X and Y. Okay. So this one will be something else.
Okay.
So that's... Yeah, so we're going to get like another 150 Pokemon. We're nearing 1,000.
Nearing 1,000.
But I can't wait for this. It'll be good.
No, I think it's weird. It's weird to me that Pokemon is the age of us. Like, I think we're the same age as Pokemon. I think it's kind of... I feel like Pokemon's been around for so long, yet it's not been around for that long if you think about it in the scheme of things. But yeah, so I assume 3DS and 2DS. I don't think they're yet to go to Wii U. I think if they were to make a...
Oh, well, the Wii U one is Pokken Tournament.
Which is basically... Yeah, it's like Tekken Tournament,
Yeah.
I think if they ever were to make like a traditional Pokemon game on a Nintendo console, I think they would hold off until the Wii U 2, whatever. I mean, I don't think they'll call it that, but the next one, basically.
Yeah.
I don't think the Wii U's selling well enough to kind of warrant the Pokemon game. But yeah, that's cool, man. Like, I'm not against Pokemon. I just never really got into it as a kid. It's not my favorite Beyblade, if you know what I mean. But I don't. Maybe Yu-Gi-Oh! I guess I was into the most out of all of them. Digimon probably no. Beyblade's the least. I don't think I've seen an episode. Followed by Digimon, followed by probably.
I tried to go back and watch Digimon, but I couldn't. It was hard to watch.
I tried to watch. I remember the theme song was really good, but I don't remember anything about it.
Digimon, Digital Monsters.
Yeah. And it's like, I remember they were all called something Mon. I remember that.
Yeah.
It was almost like a piss take of Pokemon, but I think they were like.
Because they don't properly evolve and stay evolved. They use the watch thing and they evolve in battle, but then they go back to their baby form, their original form.
It's weird.
And there's different levels of evolution.
As far as anime that I got into as a kid, Western anime, I'd probably say Dragon Ball Z. I think was probably the most that I watched. Which is...
And that's something I didn't really watch as a kid because as a kid I didn't like the animation style as a kid.
Fair enough. Yeah, it was quite Japanesey.
Now it's fine, but
yeah, true. You've kind of grown to love it. Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah, it's a weird segue.
It's not really a segue at all.
No, it's like a atrocious segue.
It's Rocket League, the game. They got the Batmobile as a downloadable content now.
They do. Which is pretty sweet. So last year they had the DeLorean for the October 2015 for when Marty comes to the future, that's a weird concept now. The Back to the Future movies are set in the past.
Yeah.
They're period pieces now.
Yeah.
And then it's a bit like how Star Wars 4, 5, and 6 are now considered prequels. Since 7 came out. But yeah, so the DeLorean was amazing. It was really, really well done. The sounds, the lights, the look of it, and they incorporated it so well. So the Batmobile and it's not just any Batmobile, it's the Batman v Superman Batmobile, which is fucking great cross promotion.
Very thin, very stylish. I love it.
It's pretty sweet. But no, I think it, and also this kind of opens up the possibility for now you can introduce. There's so many iconic cars from films. You could have Bond, the Mystery Machine. You could have General Lee from Dukes of Hazzard,
the Ghostbuster one.
Exactly, Ecto one.
Knight Rider.
Think about it, Kit from Knight Rider. If you think about it this way, Dukes of Hazzard works so well because all they do is jump the car, and the fucking game is basically jumping cars.
Yeah.
So that kind of works perfectly. The A-Team van.
Yep. The Turtles one. You can have the Turtles one.
Could have the Turtle van. Literally, there is so many possibilities for this, and the nice thing is they literally. I think it's like $1.50 or maybe $2.
Yeah.
They charge for the car, so it's
not
like
much.
all. Yeah, and the game's like $20 or whatever. A couple of cars here and there.
It goes up and down. It's from 15 to 20 depending on what season it is.
That's true. I seen it the other day. It was on special for 13, which I think is the lowest I've seen it.
Yeah.
But so that was really cool. So definitely check that out. Funny enough, I actually don't know. Have you got a release date for it, or have they just said soon? Because I can't actually.
No, I didn't. When I watched the trailer, I didn't see a release date.
Yeah, I think it might just be kind of soonish, but possibly. If I was them, I'd release it a couple of weeks before the movie.
Yeah. The Lego Dimensions, Superman and Aquaman comes out the 23rd.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Just before, yeah. Nice.
So they're doing stuff like that.
It's pretty cool. There we go. March 8th.
Oh, there you go.
Which will be $1.99.
Couple weeks before.
Couple weeks before.
So many people will get that though.
Oh fuck it, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
I think DC's been doing really well. Batman v Superman's been doing really well. Cross promotion. That Turkish Airlines Super Bowl ad was really good.
Yeah.
They're doing. They also got they've got a preview. What is it? It's like a prequel comic.
Yes.
That you can get in like Doritos now or something. Like, there's really weird cross promotions, but I thought it's interesting. It's a bit different. Cool. All right, and then final one. Final topic.
It's comic, which we hardly cover comic news because nothing really happens. But
it's kind of
it's just a new issue's been released, but this is something actually new.
Basically, and how me and Nathan kind of collect comics is we kind of wait for story arcs to finish.
Yeah.
To pick it up, because honestly, like when it's like each week or each month or whatever, I forget what the hell's happened. So I kind of wait for story arcs.
It looks better on a shelf. You can actually read the spine. In single issues, you don't know what issue it is until you actually pick it up. Like if you have it on a bookshelf kind of style.
It's also the least kind of cost efficient way of doing it as well, because you have to pay for all of them. But sweet, so this one, I mean, as far as comic news, this is a fairly big comic news. DC is once again rebooting, but it's not a soft reboot. It's not like DCEU. It is a complete DC New 52, like 2011 complete reboot. Everyone's getting number ones. We're getting new writers, new artists. DC have said, I mean, obviously going to say this, but basically, we're putting our best men on it, right? Best men and women are going to be doing it.
Best stories.
Like, they're not going to be like, no, we're going to do the shittest stories. Like, they're obviously going to say that. But a couple of things came out of it. So basically, the titles will ship twice monthly, so fortnightly. So they come out every fortnight. They've now lowered their price point to now $2.99 instead of $4.99, which I think is a better price point for jumping on, for fans to be like, $5, like it's just an issue and half of it's adverts anyway.
Yeah.
So $3, it's the price of a fucking cup of coffee. It's I don't know. I don't buy coffee. I literally know nothing. Is that the price of coffee? Is that what people pay for coffee?
Depends where you go.
That's true.
I drink a lot of coffee. Oh no.
Not in Perth. What do you? I don't know. How much is coffee?
Well, because like if I before work say I'll go to IGA, which is just a grocery store, by the way.
Yeah.
Their coffee we like $2.50 for a large, but the large isn't that big.
Yeah, fair enough.
Staff price sometimes I'll get $1.50, but then you go to like Gloria Jeans, which is kind of our version of Starbucks, I guess.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But it's not as good. But it's like depending on what kind of, like if you get like a white chocolate latte or something like that, you get like $8.60 for a large.
Fuck me. All right, not the price of coffee then. A lot cheaper than the price of coffee. And so I think $2.99 is a great starting point, a great price point. There is an 80-page. It's called the DC Universe Rebirth. Rebirth is the name of the reboot.
Yes.
It's coming out May 25th.
Yes, that'd be cool.
Which are fucking 80 pages.
Yeah.
That's a big book. Jeff Johns, of course. And Jeff Johns, I think is probably DC up there with Scott Snyder as far as writers. But Jeff Johns is there, and so May 25th. Is when the 80-page special comes out, and then June is when everything happens.
So is that special just a collection of like teasers?
I think the special, it'll be an introduction.
Yeah. Show maybe some covers or
covers, introductions, maybe even a special. You're right, like a couple of pages from each, whatever. I've got some here. So basically, I think how they're gonna do it is it's gonna be like, let's say Aquaman, right? So you've got Aquaman Rebirth, issue 1, which will just be like a one-shot. It'll just be a one-off comic, I think, introducing to the world of Aquaman if you're not familiar with it.
It'll be good, yeah.
And then Aquaman 1, Aquaman 2, Aquaman 3.
Because, I mean, after Batman v Superman, people would be more interested in Aquaman probably, so...
Exactly, I think it's the point. I mean, the June lineup is Aquaman, Batman, Flash, Green Arrow, Green Lantern, Superman, Titans instead of Teen Titans, and then Wonder Woman, which I think basically is the DCEU, Justice League, right? Yeah. And then all the missions are coming out. Then you've got kind of more obscure ones like the Hellblazer, which is Constantine's comic, Nightwing, Red Hood and the Outlaws, kind of thing. You've got like Batgirl, where am I looking? Batgirl, Batman Beyond, Cyborg. To be honest, I would bring Cyborg a lot closer. I think get people onto the idea of Cyborg. I think releasing him a lot later in the year, I think is too... I would have put him in the new batch. I would have swapped Titans for Cyborg. I would have filmed it like that. I'd done it like that. But then Harley Quinn and Deathstroke and that kind of thing.
Blue Beetle. That's true.
Suicide Squad as well. Suicide Squad in fall.
Need to.
I think you need to get Suicide Squad out before the movie, because then when people watch the movie and go, I love that, is there any comics? And they go, nope, sucks shit, it's out next month. You need, it's on the shelf right now. You need people on that. You have to realize that, and I think Marvel's doing a really good job of that now, where you've got to line up your comics with your movies, because whether you want to admit it or not, they're, in the eyes of the consumer, they're almost seen as the same product. They're seen as, well, I've seen the movie, now I really read the comic, you know? Obviously, I mean, Marvel, I think this is maybe their only downfall, is I think people are going to maybe watch the Civil War movie and go, I want to read the comic, and they go, what the fuck is this? Who are any of these characters?
Yeah.
It's so far different. So if they can make the Suicide Squad not like an adaptation of the movie, but a similar lineup, I think it'd be really cool. Or even, you could maybe even have hints in the comics as to the sequel. So people will read the comics and be like, oh man, well, King Shark's in the comics, I wonder if he's going to be in the movie. You know, that kind of stuff. I think
research and what's it called? Theories.
Theories and that kind of thing. And or little cameos, or, you know. And I think if you're going to reboot this stuff, you got to incorporate, like I think Lex Luthor, when I assume they're going to introduce Lex Luthor in some Superman comic at one point in time, make him look like Jesse Eisenberg, get people onto the idea of that is now Lex Luthor. And I can already feel people screaming at me. But from a business perspective, you have to do it, because if people go, well, in the comics he looks like this, and the movie looks like this, what the fuck, which one's which?
Yeah,
you have to go, no, that's, you know.
People that aren't used to it will get confused.
That's true. You know, your Batman has to look kind of similar. I'm not saying it doesn't have to be Jesse Eisenberg, just that kind of similar vein.
Batman usually has a similar look in the...
That's true, yeah.
Like Zack Snyder's Batman looked
It's Dark Knight Returns, basically, yeah. And Superman, you know, give him that Superman vibe, and Aquaman, you know, reboot Aquaman. Instead of making him blonde with orange and green tights, give him Jason Momoa vibe, you know, so people can kind of get on board. Because you can't see this from a fan perspective, you have to see it from a business perspective, and you have to get people onto the idea. Suicide Squad, I would have the Suicide Squad from the film, you know, that kind of thing. But so that was basically it as far as news for today. A fairly big episode, which is good. There was a lot to cover. Cool, alright. Sweet. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share on Facebook, all that stuff. Once again, the time codes are always in the description, along with everything we cover.
We'll be doing these Monday, pretty much now.
We're filming Monday. Today's Monday right now. You will get this Tuesday, just because of editing and uploading and all that. So we now, thank you for actually bringing that up. I forgot to mention it. So now Tuesdays are RadCast day, not Fridays.
Work schedules.
Nathan just got full time. So kudos to him.
You motherfucker.
And then we're struggling to get by here. We're living hand to mouth, and this fucker's on full time. But Tuesdays are now RadCast day. Thanks again for watching, we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
See you later. Bye.